Hammer!
Next comic, give it loud for everybody for Anthony Eugenio. We're gonna have the next comic. Very funny. Wayne Russell, everybody.
Welcome to the Open Mic Pain with Anthony and Wayne podcast.
We are here at the Bert Kreischer Fully Loaded Comedy Festival. I don't think you can hear us because there's a DJ going on up there. We are 6 rows back. We are getting ready. It's coming. It's coming. Anthony, how you feeling?
Hammer! If you want to get it, come get it, because that's where I'm at.
So we want to do a lot more, but it's been raining, so we didn't really have a chance to get the equipment out, but we'll definitely do a show after about our experience here. So far, it's been a great time. As you can see, Bert, Big Jay Oakerson, there's a lot of people here. Fucking time. Stay.
Oh, hi everybody, and welcome back to an Open Mic Pain with Anthony and Wayne podcast. We're doing a reaction to the Bert Kreischer Fully Loaded tour. We're sitting in the parking lot, and the traffic is cock. How you doing, Wayne?
I'm doing pretty good. It was a pretty good show. I have a lot of thoughts about it. I was really excited about this, and I had an idea of where my top comics would be beforehand, and after it's changed quite a bit. So I don't know where you want to start, but how do you feel about the lineup and where they came out, where you think they should have been, and all that? Where would you put your top comics versus where they ended up on the final lineup?
Yeah, so let's start by, we'll go in order of how they went, and we will agree or disagree with where they were in the lineup. Sound good?
Sounds good to me.
Okay. So first we had Rich Voss, which I'll start by saying, goddamn right Rich Voss opens the show. He definitely acted like it.
Did he get new teeth?
He had pearly whites.
He had pearly white teeth. And I have to say, I feel like they were like brand new.
Yeah.
He talked like they were brand new. He looked like they were brand new.
And his intro video they showed was from like 80 years ago.
For me, Rich Voss was not much of a hit. He had a couple things that I liked, but for the most part, I didn't find him funny. Although, honestly, I never have personally. Not to say he's not a good comic, he just doesn't hit home with me. How about yourself?
He had a couple good crowd work bits that he went to that I got a couple chuckles on, but I would have to agree with you on the long form there. But we agree with the position in the lineup. So next up is Tammy Pescatelli.
Yep, Tammy Pescatelli.
She was pretty goddamn funny, but I would agree with her going after Rich Voss. How do you feel about that?
Personally, I would have put her a little higher. I thought she was great. I did not know who Tammy was or Tammy Pescatelli was. I'll be nice. I didn't know who she was before this festival came into my sights. I watched some of her material beforehand. And it was okay, but tonight she hit home with me. I thought she was really funny. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, she was good.
I don't agree with her being second in the lineup.
Where would you put her? And who would you put there?
If I was to put Tammy Pescatelli somewhere, it would probably be like third or fourth, maybe. And
you're going to put Jim Norton, who was third?
Jim Norton was third, which that's an atrocity. We'll get to that, but no, I wouldn't put Jim Norton there. I wouldn't bump him down to make her go up.
That's my point. Who are you bumping?
I don't want to say Dan Soder because I wouldn't put him down to second, but he didn't do it for me either.
Oh, I understand taste-wise, but if you're organizing the show, I think that it would be I don't want to call it a crime to put Dan Soder second, but I think my point is, I think she did great, but I think it's appropriate where she was. That's all.
You know, I'm gonna have to agree with you because if you're gonna say it's a crime, it would be a crime to put any of them second. And
That's true. That's true.
It would.
Besides Rich Voss, they were all great.
Yeah, Rich Voss was not. He wasn't doing it for either one of us. But, you want my honest opinion? Tiffany Haddish. I was really excited about seeing her. I didn't watch any of her comedy leading up to this. I only know her from the Eric Andre movie. I was really excited to hear from her and see what she had to bring. If I had to bump anybody to put Tammy Pescatelli up, it would be Tiffany Haddish. And then right after Tiffany Haddish would be Dan Soder.
Yeah, I can see where you're going with that. Let's pause real quick because I don't know if this is still recording. Oh, it is. Okay, well, that was me overreacting to the video, and I mean audio log. Fuck, it's late. I'm tired. Fuck you. God damn it. Okay.
Luckily, it's Father's Day, so hopefully we'll both be able to sleep in tomorrow because right now it's 11:36 and we've been sitting in the same spot for 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
And we haven't moved, so.
No, we're going to wait for all these goddamn cars to go first. Yeah, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to pull... nobody cares about this, but if you watch Cart Narcs on YouTube, you know that that guy is the fucking most etiquette-prone man in the world, and he deserves you to play with his willy. Anyways, I'm going to pull to the end of the line here, and I'm going to wait my turn. And this guy's going to put on his reverse light. Like, sir, I'm going behind you. We're in line. You're trying to...
You've done nothing because that guy was 3 cars to the left.
Ay, god damn it. I feel.
So who was third?
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. I don't think I can go this way. Hold on a second. I'm a fucking mess. There's no car by me, right?
Look at this guy.
Look at
What's
this
he
guy.
doing?
What is this guy doing? God damn it. Stop it. Stop it.
This motherfucker's making burgers over here. Look at some dinner.
This is the line. Wow.
I told
See,
you
this
about
is what I was trying to do. Because see how we were right there? Well, we would have had to wait for this line to end. So I needed to get in front of it. This is so interesting, everybody. I hope you're fucking enjoying this. Anywho.
I'll put this window down.
You said who was third?
Yeah. So we started off with Rich Voss. We went to Tammy Pescatelli. Number 3 was who?
Jim Norton.
Jim Norton.
Yeah.
Which, I went to the bathroom, and I did not think Jim Norton was coming out. And I was literally peeing, and I heard Jim Norton's voice, and I was like, fuck! Because he was the one that I was most excited for.
I was afraid that you were going to miss it.
I could hear him.
Yeah, you were able to hear him?
I was able to hear him. I could hear him a little bit. I didn't hear a good portion of his stand-up when I was in the bathroom, but when I got out, I was able to hear him.
Well, I think Jim did great, and he probably should have been, close to the co-headliner of the show, like, that second before the finale.
I will say I was a little disappointed with a lot of the Jim Norton comedy that I'm familiar with is him talking about his sexual kinks. And I was ready for some really inappropriate comedy. And not saying I was disappointed, but I was really hoping for some of that crazy shit that I know him for.
Yeah, he's matured.
He has definitely matured. He's less like the he's much less like the young interested in sexual ambiguity comic, and more like the I'm gonna put my glasses down to the very tip of my nose and read the paper, which is okay. It's 100% okay, but I was really hoping for some of that really dirty comedy, because as we talked, I think I'm a little more towards that dirty comedy direction in my own stand-up. I definitely am.
Well, we found you a new spirit animal tonight over here. Anyways, I think later we'll talk about which one you liked. So we got past Jim Norton, criminally at the bottom of the lineup, but there are 2 shows, so maybe tomorrow he's higher up and they're just, being cool about it. So next up, we took... Did they take the break yet, or did we do one more after?
I think there was a break right after Jim Norton.
Yeah, and then they did an intermission. They had a DJ. With the DJ Carter Cruz, and whatever the DJs do, she did.
I will say we missed the initial stand-up, and I don't remember his name, but he was another DJ that did some stand-up as well.
Yeah, Cypher.
Yes, Cypher.
He said he's really famous in New York a bunch of times.
He was apparently for us forgettable, and that is that holds true because we forgot him. So we're gonna leave it at that. He didn't do anything for me. I'm not gonna say anything negative. It's really hard to get up there, especially in the crowd, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. A part of Bert's set, when you realize how many people are actually in that crowd. I give props to anybody that can go up on that stage and say anything intelligible.
Yeah,
so good for him. But
yeah, I'm with you, Anna, because I think that he was in the host position, which is the really shitty to do when you have all those killers. You're going and doing 1-minute bits in between. Mm-hmm. So there is a little slack to be cut, but at the same time, it did him no favors that his very most best and thought out bits were like super harsh.
Yeah.
They were the best ones, but you're like, God damn, man, like put that into your stuff that is regular.
Mm-hmm.
So after the intermission, we came on board with who, Wayne?
Who was after? So it was Jim Norton. I think, was it Tiffany Haddish? Did she start off after the intermission? No, it was Dan Soder.
It was Dan Soder.
Yeah, Dan Soder.
Yeah, he came out. So this is where me and Wayne differ on opinion for the first time, I think. I fucking love Dan Soder. He's my favorite of the night. Not your favorite of the night, right?
I like to say, we can all be wrong occasionally, and this is your wrong.
This is my time, huh?
I didn't. I was not super familiar with Dan Soder, but I don't know. He didn't do it for me. Once again, I did not listen to his stand up going into this, so I didn't know what to expect. But he just didn't do it for me. I don't know what it was.
He did it for Anthony. That's for sure. Team Dan Soder. Dan, if you ever listen to this, you're never going to listen to this. If you ever listen to this, definitely not. But if you did, you knew I was on your team, and Wayne was not. So when you're booking the show, and you're like, which one of these should I go to? Don't compare our comedy. Compare only that I love you.
It, like I've said before, comedy is subjective. In this particular night, he just didn't do it for me. I don't know.
No, I completely understand. I get it.
I wish I went to the bathroom during Dan Soder's set.
Not Jim Norton's.
Rather than Jim Norton's. But I didn't know that Jim Norton was going to be up there. I thought it was going to be Dan Soder.
Well, next up on the fucking lineup comes Tiffany Haddish, which, I don't want to discuss the contents of her set for fairness of her set. However, I want to talk about the good things first. I was impressed by how she started. She has a really cool beginning. That's different and impressive.
Yeah, I'll say I'm really impressed with her stage presence. She had the really out there costume. I wouldn't say costume, but the outfit. She had a really sparkly pants. That was really, that was interesting.
Yeah, if you were taking a little mushroom, you were gonna feel it.
Yeah, she was definitely there to have attention brought to her. But yeah, it's just, once again, she didn't do it for me. And you said you're not going to discuss the contents of her set. I will not discuss the contents of her comedy set, but I will discuss the contents of her time on stage when you're done with your ideas on her.
Yeah, so I said the good stuff at least. The bad stuff was just that out of everybody tonight, I don't know if we'll agree on this, but I think out of everybody tonight, this is including Bert, she seemed the least prepared. And I don't mean prepared in the sense of, that she wasn't as good as them, but more that she wasn't taking it as seriously. Like a couple times that she asked the audience for questions, shit like that. And to us, at least to me, it looked like she was kind of looking for bits. Maybe she forgot her place where she was. Everybody else was really, like or hate their comedy, they were tight. The stuff was coming right out quick.
Yeah, I was really excited to see her because she was one that I had never seen her stand up, and I purposely did not watch any of her stand up because I had not seen it. The only thing I knew of Tiffany Haddish was that Eric Andre movie, and I thought that was hilarious. Her improv in that was spot on. It was great, and I was really excited to hear what she had to say coming from her. Is this a good time to bring up what I'm going to bring up?
Yeah.
She ended her set with a plug for a project she did with, I think it was Disney, was it not?
Well, she did two plugs at the end of her set. And the other was about a show on Hulu, I think.
Yeah. I get it. You have to kind of... You want to bring attention to the projects that you're doing, but I don't think that a show at Bank of New Hampshire Pavilion is the place to do it.
Well, this is the thing. Imagine if you're in a movie, and, you're watching a movie, and you're in the movie theater, and you're watching fucking The Matrix. And in the middle of it, Keanu Reeves looks to the screen and goes, "Hey, sorry, for real quick, I have this toothpaste that I'm trying to sell, and if you will buy this toothpaste, I think you would be really happy with how your teeth..." Okay, I'm back. Fuck you, Agent Smith. And you breaks you out of it. And especially to close with it, because it's your closing bit. It's the most sacred thing in comedy, is the closing bit. It's the one you want to get the best and do, at the end of your set, to get everybody excited to see you again. And that was kind of a bummer. But, she's still got the fucking best stage presence of anybody out there. You maybe send Bert, but fuck.
She has such a good, stage presence. The voices she was doing.
Yep.
Like, she has so much going for her, and I was really disappointed with her decision to just shamelessly plug whatever projects she has going on. I don't know if that's shame on her, shame on Bert. I really don't know. Nobody else did that.
No, I think you just gotta check that shit if you're running the tour. And it seems like maybe that's going unchecked.
Yeah.
That's what I'd say. But to more positive things, we got Big Jay Oakerson next, which I gotta say, when I heard him coming in the lineup, I didn't get too excited. And boy, was that a mistake not to be excited about Big J. He went over there, sat on a stool, and absolutely crushed us.
Yeah, he's one that another one that I wasn't super familiar with, but when I heard his name on the lineup, I went and I watched and listened to some of his stand-up, and I instantly became a fan, so I was super excited to hear him, and he did not disappoint. He is somebody after tonight, if I ever see him come around and he is the headliner, I will 100% pay to go see him as a headlining comic.
You know what? I would have to agree with you there. I think that Big J is well worth seeing. I mean, they're coming by, he said, I believe in August for Legion of Skanks. And that is definitely something that's got to be on our radar. Because you're pulling in not only him, but you're going to probably get Ari Shaffir, I imagine, with all that. And that's going to be a hell of a show. So that's going to be exciting, too.
Yeah, 100%.
So, on to the Man the Machine, Bert Kreischer, which the only thing I want to start by saying before we get too deep into it is if you are, like, thinking about watching Bert and getting a ticket to a show, and you're kind of on the fence because you like him in podcasts, but you're not so sure on the material, it's different live, right, Wayne?
Yeah, definitely. I'm one of those people that I love Bert on podcasts, on Hot Ones, anything social media. I love him. I think he's a great person. I love watching him be himself. As a comic, I'm not sold. So tonight was more about the other 6 comics, or when we actually got the tickets, the other 5 comics. It was more about them. After tonight, seeing him live, and he did the Machine story.
Sure.
With a little extra in there, which we can talk about, but I'm more sold on Bert's stand-up tonight than I have been watching his Netflix specials and all his other specials.
Yeah, listen, I'll say this. So I think this might be a perfect way to describe it. I've seen Tom Segura live. Have you seen Tom live?
No, that was one that I think you asked me to go to, and I wasn't able to. And I'm really jealous because you got to meet him. I would really love to meet Tom Segura.
Yeah, he was actually, you wouldn't expect it, but he's a very nice guy.
Yeah, he hates the pores, so it's amazing that you...
I know, exactly. My dirty brown skin, it didn't creep him out. So basically, this is my point. Tom Segura, you watch him on your Netflix show, and I think you're going to have a better time than watching Bert's Netflix show as far as the content, making you laugh, all that. But live, I don't know, guys. I didn't think I would say this afterwards, but Bert puts on way more production during his show. He has got light-timed bits, like crazy shit like that, production that is fantastic.
There's something about seeing those nipples in higher than 4K.
Yeah, a lot of hair.
But in all seriousness, he puts on a hell of a show.
Yeah.
And there is... I can't even explain it.
I don't know why that's not talked about enough. Like, I feel like a lot of the mainstream comics that he talks to, like, he will degrade himself a little bit by saying, yeah, I'm not as good as Rogan or any of the better guys, and all that, and they will kind of let him do that, almost playing to the fact that he's lesser. And again, joke writing wise, again, he's not Bill Burr, but a huge facet of stand-up is your stage performance.
Yeah, and he is not as good of a joke writer as Bill Burr or Tom Segura, but to watch him on stage, it's almost, I don't know how to explain it, but from the second he came out and ripped his shirt off, and I never thought I would say that sentence in person, but this man came out and ripped his shirt off, and I was hollering. I was like, yes!
I wasn't, and I'll tell you why. I don't, because I don't think this obviously isn't a spoiler, but when he first came out, before he ripped his shirt out, his belly was hanging well out of the bottom of his shirt.
I noticed that.
Yeah, and I was like, why? Why is he wearing a tube top? I mean, he ripped it off anyway, so I guess it doesn't matter what he was wearing, but...
So, I was thinking about that, and this is where my brain goes, but I was thinking about, he must just have a Doug Funny closet of clothes that doesn't matter to him.
That he's just got to throw away.
Yep, it's just like, he's opened the closet, it's the same fucking outfit, and he knows every night he's going to rip it off, he's going to throw it, and he's never going to wear that shirt again. But I gotta say, it did something for me. It was a really good time. I felt like I was really excited to be part of one of the times that he did that.
Yeah, that was an experience. It's definitely worth seeing. And I think that, again, if Bert's coming to town, he's a show worthy of a stadium. He's an IMAX movie that you've got to see in the theaters. It's not going to win the Best Picture of the Year award, but it's going to be the most entertaining Picture of the Year award.
He's one of those people that when he comes out on stage and he pulls his shirt off, you want to give him a hug, no matter how sweaty he is.
You do.
You really just want to give him a hug. Because he puts on a fucking hell of a show. He does.
I love it. So, closing thoughts on the show tonight, Wayne. I want you to give me a score 1 out of 10.
I would say it's probably an 8.
8 out of 10.
8 out of 10. It would be higher if a couple of the comics were a little less self-indulged. But for the most part, it was fantastic. The experience overall, if I had to do the whole experience, it would probably be like a 9.5. It was awesome just coming out and hanging out with you. We sat in the parking lot. We had a couple beers. Talked to a couple people in the parking lot. It was raining, so we wanted to do more, but we really couldn't because we didn't want to get the equipment wet. So whatever. But the show itself, 8 out of 10. How about yourself?
6 out of 10.
6, huh?
Yeah, 6 microphones out of 10. That's my rating system.
What
Fuck
brings
you
you
if
down
you don't
to a
like
6?
it.
What brings you down to a 6? I'm really curious.
So the worst thing about a good movie is poor editing, which means that the movie could have been good, but it was bloated and it was too long. And because of that, it drags the movie down and makes the parts lesser than their sum whole. And my point is that show is way too fucking long. We goddamn got here at 4 o'clock and we're leaving here at 12 o'clock. It's too muchy. Can I go left?
You go left.
Left. This way. Sorry, pause. We're pausing. So
No, we're keeping this.
we're pausing. I gotta go right. Okay.
So, I got you on that. I get it.
So listen, and 1 out of 10 is like you're seeing Richard Pryor in his prime, and Louis C.K. and all that stuff is my 10 rating, at least in my head. So to me, this is like I'm stacking this up against the greatest of all time for just the comedy show itself. Not quite my experience with it because it's a 10 out of 10 for me, baby. But for just we had a couple comics that weren't that great on the show. And you know what? I don't want that. If the comics aren't going to be at this level of ticket price, as stadium killers that are going to go burn the damn place down, well, it's dragging down for your total score no matter how good everybody else did.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I got to 6.
Yeah, when you put it like that, I agree with you 100%.
Change your score.
At that, listening to you, at that point, I would put it to a 7.
Everybody, this is how you know that I am a fantastic salesman. I was able to sell Wayne down on his score. Fuck you, America.
Yeah, I was scoring it at an 8 based on the time I had with Anthony. We spent some time in the parking lot talking. We went over bits and all that, and then we went into the venue and watched the comics. As an experience, I would still rate it as an 8, maybe even a 9. But if I'm just going purely on the comics and the show, yeah, then maybe a 7.
Nice. So everybody, if you're familiar with Star Wars, you'll know that the Sith operate on their emotions, which is what Wayne did here. I, as the Jedi, operate without emotion and just judge the show as it was. So now I'm going to cut Wayne's legs and arms off in a duel with lightsabers. So everybody, I still think that this was a worthy step on the quest for motherfucking laughs. Bye.
What's up, motherfuckers? So far, so good. Tammy Pescatelli and Jim Norton were fucking awesome. Cannot wait for the other 5 coming out. You guys should have bought tickets. It's been awesome. Anthony, how are you feeling?
I am not hammered quite as much, but I'm working on it.
Another beer coming for Anthony very soon. But look at this. Bert Kreischer coming up.